Now on this episode here, we're gonna do Jerry Lewis-Bey. Hello y'all, welcome to Bamm Rock TV. I'm Bamm, also known as the 411 Giant. Nigga, I'd like to ask you to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and hit that bell icon so you know when my next video come out. Now on this episode here, we're gonna do Jerry Lewis-Bey. Now, if that name don't ring a bell, I tell you, Jerry Lewis-Bey is a very, very deceptive, nerdy looking individual. Very nerdy looking individual with the big glasses on, slim, but there's an underlying tone to him that when you see the way he glides and move around, you can see that squint. And when you listen to him talk, you can hear that knowledge. Some will call it wisdom, some will call it knowledge. But you can see that he's a learned man and he done did his research and reading on a lot of different topics. Jerry Lewis-Bey was convicted of a conspiracy in which they claimed that he ran a drug ring and a murder ring from the 70s always into the 90s, all the way into the 90s. Now, the claim was that he was found guilty of that. Also, the claim that was made that he was doing this under the Moorish Americans by being the sheik of the Moorish American temple, that he was doing this under the Moorish American flag as sheik. And so he was convicted after a 7.5 month trial that they say it was a very lengthy trial. And some of their conspiracy things that were used against them were the same thing that were used in our trial. Also, what we had in common, that was the fact that my brother testified against me and was up on the stand 3 days. His brother testified against him, and I don't know exactly how long that he was up on the stand, but I know it had a profound effect on him, just like mine's had on me. But the similarities in our case had a guy to point me out to him when I first got there, because I had came from Florence, USP Florence, and a guy who had beat me there, he was actually from Kansas, and he had pointed me out to Jerry Lewis-Bey and telling him, hey man, he got a case like yours, and you know, blase. And then he introduced us. And when he introduced us, he looked big old glasses, big frame glasses, slim, very, very, very well spoken, intelligent dude. You can tell he had a lot of, he had a lot of learned wisdom and everything. And you can look at him, he looked like a nerd, but you could see that, man, not just his wisdom and knowledge, but you could see that there was an underlying script that if I got to do this, it will be done. You know what I'm saying? So, and I used to laugh because I used to smile. I ain't gonna say laugh. I used to smile because you can look up and he can be way at the front of a unit, and then you turn around and you turn your head and turn back again. He didn't glide right up on there. Hey, how you doing today? Blase. Me and him talk, and I told him a little bit about my case, and me and him said we're gonna sit down and chop it up about our case, and especially the similarity with our brothers testifying. So now he naturally, as he do it, everybody, he offer you to the Moorish temple and ask you to come down to the service and everything, which I had to decline on that. Our religious views wasn't the same, even though I respect his, he respect mine. But I was concerned about our case and our need to work on our case together. That was more of a priority than our religious association. So me and him he moved around. He was very slim, and he walked. He glide. The man when he walked, he glide. Jerry Lewis-Bey could be at the he could be at the front of the building, and you can turn your head and look this way, and it look like he right there in front of you and everything like that. And he was just he so alarmingly he wise, very very wise and very learned, but he is underlining script to him that if you're not careful, it could be deceptive. It's underlining script to him that you could see that he looked like a goofy little nerd or whatever, but you could see that underlining thing with it concerning his religion and it's concerning his people, that he'll stand the line on that. And you learn to peep things like that when you're dealing with people. So, and he put a lot of things together, like down in the unit, we'll be in the unit and we get together and we may cook for the football game, or we may cook for this or that, and going on. And he always participated, whether he gonna throw something in or whether he furnished it himself. And he's always sliding a little wisdom in when he tell you something. He'll try to slide a little wisdom in. He kept a we were basically in his backyard because we was in Leavenworth, Kansas, which St. Louis and Missouri and Kansas, like they run tight together and everything. An individual who was from Missouri that was in USP Florence with me, they seen when I got off the bus, they introduced us. And as I have told y'all before, in the federal system, someone has always gonna beat you to the next penitentiary. They're gonna always beat you to the next spot, whether they from your hometown or they from somewhere else. The information about you gonna beat you to the place. So when you step off that bus or you come out that shoe, dude's gonna point at their homeboy and they gonna say, "Hey, either that's Bamm Bamm, and he a solid man, he go hard for his people," or else they gonna say, "That's Bamm Bamm, he's some shit. He's scary, he do this and that." Whatever you was at that last penitentiary is gonna follow you there. So we were basically in his backyard and everything, and the compound was full of Missouri and Kansas people, but they ran a tight line. I mean, he made his people respect people, but he always he went to war. He was willing to go to war for his people, and he actually made a pretty good stand with us. And we made it, should I say, we made the stand with him when the medical facility had denied Bay, one of his Moorish brothers, medical attention, and they put him off and said to come back Monday. He died during that weekend. And so we went out and we held the yard, all the different people, all the different groups, all the different people from everywhere. We went out on the yard and actually refused to come back in until they walked their medical staff off the compound. And they did that. They walked everybody off except one until they walked this medical staff out and allowed us to have a funeral, a memorial service for the individual who had died, which was a Moorish American going on. So we stood with him on that and everything like that. And that's the kind of thing he did. He stayed in his books, stayed in his book working on his case, stayed working on his case and everything. He wasn't when you see him gliding in and out, he was either going to check on something. We had a couple of incidents where bump heads with some of the people from his area, and me and him sit down and we talk. We set it down, we talk it out, and we got it straight, got to it. Sometimes it was a small misunderstanding, and sometimes it had been a stabbing, and we looked at why it happened, what was the cause of it. Now what do we do after this? Do we shut the yard down and go further with this here? Or is this a situation that we let go because it was something that shouldn't have happened, but yet and still it's penitentiary? You don't blow up over every little thing. So most of the people that I had met that was in leadership position on the street seemed to still possess that capability while they was in there with their influence and their ability to go across the lines and make something happen. Because when you're dealing with people who do not have, I'm gonna say, leadership qualities and going on, they don't know how to cross those lines to associate with other people and make exception to create peace, a peaceful environment going on. Wars necessary sometimes, but not all the time. Jerry Lewis-Bey is with his Morris contacts. He wasn't really affiliated nationwide with a lot of them, because I noticed that when some other Moorish American had came there seemed to be a little separation, and I found that kind of conflicting, how he can be so unified and get along with everybody else, but when another, I don't remember exactly where these particular Moorish Americans were from, but I know when they came, there was like a separation, like they didn't fool with each other. So I don't know if it's just different branches don't fool with each other or what, but they didn't, and that's the only thing that I ever seen, about him that kind of threw me out, because I figured, if with my ignorance, I figured that if you're a Moorish American in this part, you're a Moorish American in that part. So, but Jerry Lewis-Bey, I was there with him 5 years. I did about 5 years in Leavenworth before I was sent to lockdown Marion. And during that time, like I said, we had quite a few interactions. Matter of fact, I was very, very, very particular about the sellers that I accept. So if the folks come in there and put somebody in the cell, in the cell that I was in, and I get off work and the individual in there, and something don't groove about the individual, I'll go to his people and tell his people, hey, listen here, you need to get him up out of there. And they'll come and they'll tell him, hey, we got to find you another cell. Bam Bam don't just really do it. Then he be into a lot of stuff. He ain't trying to get you caught up. I'll tell him like that. I ain't trying to get you caught up. Me and the police may get into it any minute. I may have wine in here. I got knives in here. So, if you trying to stay out of trouble, you don't want to be in here with me. So anyway, that's if you look him up, Jerry Lewis-Bey, and he was a Moorish American that was convicted of conspiracy in St. Louis, Missouri. And like I said, I met a lot of good men, and he was one of them. You know what I'm saying? That was in Leavenworth, Kansas, USP Leavenworth. That's all I ever did was USPs and Supermax. All right, I appreciate y'all for sitting here listening to me again. Look here, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that bell icon. We got some more episodes coming together. Peace.